Hello and welcome to Videojug. My name's Selector and I'm from humanbeatbox.com, and I'm going to show you a few different types of beat that you can use with your beatboxing. The first one will be hip hop. Now hip hop tends to be quite a slow groove that you can really rock your head to, and an MC can rap to. It tends to be relatively slowly and punchy in rap, as opposed to kind of fast drum and bass MCing. So something like for example. Now I tend to use classic snares for hip hop, but it really doesn't matter which snare you want to use. You can use any snare as long as it sounds good in the beat. And in hip hop often they use what I call double kicks as well, so two kicks in fast succession. So kind of so this kind of rhythm. So yeah, that's hip hop. So the next beat would be drum and bass. Once you learn the hip hop beats, drum and bass tends to be the next thing that people love to learn because it's more challenging and it can be more impressive to people who are listening. Drum and bass tends to follow a loop sounding something like this, mixed with I'm just going to show you the normal snare. I've showed you the classic snare and the kick together, just so you get a rough idea of how the beat should sound. So something like this. So 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, that kind of beat. Now when you've got this basic beat, you can start adding fill-ins in, just hi-hats by themselves. Start to sound more interesting. Now once you've mastered that, you can start adding in what I like to call a TK fill-in, like a tk, 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 this kind of noise. So that's a T and then a K in very fast succession. So when you start getting the hang of that, you can make it. Now obviously I don't want to limit you to the classic snare. You can use any snares in drum and bass and you can really have fun with it. Do what you find's fun and just really mix up your beats. Okay, so another variation of beat pattern you could use would be, for example, what's called house beats or dance beats. Now these beats tend to, again, be a mixture of drum machine noises, and obviously you've got your kicks in there, but things, especially the hi-hats, things tend to be kind of panned out a bit longer to make the beat into a more kind of dancey, so like the classic this kind of idea, but instead you want to be doing a kind of okay, so that's your basic dance beat, pretty boring. Once you get the hang of that, you can start going into the techno beats. Now, techno beats are very interesting because they follow a lot of different beat patterns, but the most classic one would be something like this. I'll show you it sound by sound so you get a better idea of it. It would be more like using your kicks like this. So you get the idea of that. Once you get the idea of doing the kicks in this kind of succession, then you can start throwing in your snares. Now, I recommend using inward snare to complete this noise. So starting to get a bit more interesting. Once again, sounds a bit boring by itself. If we add in the hi-hat, it starts to bring the beat together a bit. So with the hi-hat, okay, so that sounds quite nice, alright. Personally, I prefer to add in a TK fill-in, so just like in the drum and bass, except a lot more complex. So and then once you've got these TK fill-ins, to make it even more interesting as a techno beat, you can start using a kind of falsetto noise above the kick drum. So a kind of noise like this, okay? But you can make it shorter. Like this. So that's techno and dance and kind of, house beats and that kind of thing. Okay, so you've got a few different beat patterns you can use. Always make sure your stuff's original. Try and try and branch out into your own way of doing things. Obviously, learn things of other people. That's the best way to learn. But try and make it about you, about how you want to do it. So make it self-expression. That's what beatboxing is all about. So yeah, just make sure you enjoy yourself.